Sure if this thing is going out or not, but YouTube and my streamer are just not getting along tonight. I can tell you that. It's very strange. I'm hoping that we can actually get this thing on the road. It looks like it's finally shifting gears and letting me get online. What the heck? I'll tell you, I had a whole thing planned, man. I had a nice little intro scheduled. I had the music going. It looks like it's starting to work now. So hopefully we can get this show on the road. But anyway, Happy New Year. Welcome to the last Pilot Jam of 2023, huh? Or sorry, 2022, heading into 2023. It's been one of those days. All right. It looks like the streamer is finally cooperating, and I guess we can get moving. Anyway, so today what I wanted to do was we're going to do a little bit of a wrap up. I wanted to spend a little time talking about some of the top products of the year. We're going to do a little bit of a look back on some of the videos that I made. I didn't do a montage or anything like that. I just didn't see any point in doing that. You guys follow the channel, you know what's going on in terms of the videos, you watch them. So I didn't do too much of that kind of thing, but I thought we'd have a little bit of fun doing a little bit of a look back on the year. And I want to talk about products that I was really impressed with this year, things that made an impression on me. And more importantly, these are things that I went back to. These are things that I wound up using in my day-to-day. And I also wanted to cover some of the stats on the channel. I thought we'd start with that. So as you can see on the screen, I've got some stuff along the bottom talking about the key things that happened during the year. And at the end of every year, YouTube sends a little email, just giving you a little bit of a recap, and you're able to pull some data down from YouTube to see what you did. And the one that shocked me, I think, the most was 215 videos. There were 215 videos this year. If you do that math, that works out to 0.6 videos per day or 4.1 videos per week. So I thought that was a pretty interesting stat for the channel. And so 0.6 videos per day, 4.1 videos per week. And then another big one that kind of stood out to me in this list of metrics was 8.2 million watch time minutes. So 8.2 million minutes of watch time on this channel and in the year. And I thought that was pretty cool. We also added 6,600 subscribers. So I'm not going to go through those are the ones that stood out to me. I'm not going to go through and read them all. I'll let you guys read them on the screen as they kind of pass by. You can just enjoy and check out the stats as they go as we get into the content. Anyway, I want to make sure that I kick off right by saying Happy New Year, and I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and thank you guys, especially ones that have been with me for a while. I really appreciate you and the effort that you make in helping me kind of keep this channel going. And I'll also say, Freddie, right before the live stream started, Fred said I might be doing a little drinking. So I thought, it's New Year's Eve. I'm at home. I'm doing a live stream. Why not? Let's just have some fun hanging out. I'm gonna have a drink with you guys. So if you don't mind, this could get a little loose by the end of the video, though. Just fair warning. In case you're wondering, that's a pecan praline whiskey that we find at Town and Country here in Florida. It's pretty good. Little pecan praline whiskey. All right. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to do a little bit of I got 20. I took 20. I didn't have a target, but I picked out 20 things. It just happened to work out to be 20 things that I wanted to cover with you guys in terms of products that I thought through the year that I thought were really good. And there are things that I kept going back to. And I'm going to lead off with this toolkit RC. This is the M9 multi-charger. And the reason that and there's no particular order. It's not like this is a number 1 versus number 10 kind of deal. It's just a list of things that I go back to throughout the year. Okay. So this is the M9 multi-charger. 600 watts. It's DC powered, and I use this pretty regularly. I use this at home all the time. If I need a battery charged up or need something to test with on the bench, this is the one that I use. I haven't really taken it out to the field, so it's not like I've put production load on it, but I really like this device for the bench, certainly, and I'm sure it'll be competent in the field too, because I like the multi-tool aspect of it, all the little facility it has. And I love the tilt screen, especially for a desktop. That tilt screen is really handy. So the M9, that's the first product. All year long, I've gone back to this, and that's the point. I wanted to show you guys things that I kept reaching for. And I think that's why I would consider them to be kind of like my favorite products throughout the year, is because I keep going back to them and using them. So you guys feel free, you know, in the chat, if you got some comments or if you have any questions, feel free. And I'm gonna run through the list real quick before I move on to the next one. So again, sorry about the rough start. I don't know what was going on with that, but the YouTube stream just didn't seem to want to kick in. Anyway, I got a whole bunch of people in here. Freddie, how you doing? Clamatu FPV is there. RC Planes is here. Cameron Dasso, how you doing? Hobie is here. Hi, Hobie. Wolfie is here. I think Hobie was in first for sure. Wolfie's here. Good evening, boys. Lonnie's here. William Tam, how you doing? Of course, we got Freddie. Mr. Skyrider's here. He says, Happy New Year, folks. I sure hope it's better than last year. Heli Flight, that screenshot looks like a workout. Well, I appreciate that. You ought to see it in black and white. Looks really cool in black and white. Tanuj says, good morning. And so you must be in somewhere where it's bright and sunny. Still dark here. We still haven't hit the new year yet. Let's see. Philip Jang is here. Happy New Year. I think they've crossed over. They're already in 2023 down in Australia. Four Eyes says Happy New Year's. That's awesome. Bill says it's cheers, John. Welcome, Bill. Glad you can make it. Malty's here. Hold on. Myalta, right? Myalta? I think I got that right. I'm trying. Myalta is trying to teach me the correct way to pronounce his name, and I'm trying. I'm making the effort. So I think I got that right. I think I did listen to the audio a couple times. And Rinker 5822 is here. How you doing, Rinker? Good to see you. Anyway, so Toolkit RC M9. That's the first one. It's one of the ones that I just kind of go back to throughout the year. I like that one. So let's see. Next up, this is kind of, this is another one of those products that I used a lot. And it's oh, and by the way, after the video, I'm going to have links for all of this stuff in the description if you want to go buy any of it. But this is the FreeSky SIM dongle. And I think it is a really cool little device because it allows you to bind your radio. So you can bind your radio to it, and it works. It turns your radio into a joystick. Simply by plugging it into a USB port on your computer. And I love it because it's convenient. It's just wireless. It's wireless interface to the computer. And I use it for all the different sims that I use. I use not Real Flight. I still use their Interlink controller. But the Radio Master TX16S for AccuRC, I use it for that. And I've used it for HeliRC, and I've used it for the Wing Sim. So all of those sims, it works great. And it's cheap. It's like 25 bucks. It's just a neat little convenient device. And I've used this thing all year long. All year. I've gone back to it, and it just works. I will tell you, occasionally, for some reason, the software, I think it has to do with Windows. It doesn't recognize it. So you have to just pull it out and pop it back in, and that's it. But that's really more of I believe that's more of a software issue than a hardware issue. So this is a FreeSky simulator dongle. It's one of the things that I used all year long. I kept going back to it. So that's kind of what I'm after tonight, is to show you guys that stuff. Bill says I blame Freddie. Yeah, it's probably Freddie's fault. But hey, cheers, fellas. Happy New Year. I hope you all are having a great time tonight. If you're out and about, or if you're going out, be safe out there, all right? Drink responsibly, all that stuff. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm gonna have a snort. Heli Flight says, wow, nice stats. Thank you. Yeah, it's growing. You know, channel's growing. It's kind of cool to see those kind of numbers out there. Hobie says, unfortunately, I'm going to have to listen as the kids want to burn the Christmas tree. Oh, that's no good. Don't let them burn the Christmas tree. Malta says, Happy New Year. And Rinker says, hello, got that better. Okay, thank you for all your videos. Very helpful. Well, I'm glad to help, man. I'm glad you appreciate it. Thank you. It's hard work, but I'm glad to help you guys out. So it works if you work it, says Freddie. Yeah, you got to work it. That's the simulator dongle. It works, does work. That's a good little device, man. It's convenient. That's all I can say. You don't have to keep plugging the radio in and selecting joystick mode and, you know, having a wire. It's just convenient. I like it. And no latency. Like if there were any latency, it would probably be the same thing you'd experience in the, you know, at the field flying the real deal. So that's that. Okay. Let's see. Happy New Year from Norway. Norway, that's awesome. I think you guys have probably crossed over too, right? Yeah, I think you're at least, well, yeah, we're -5, so you're like, what, +1 or +2? So yeah, you've got a crossover already. Pop it out and put it back in. Sounds like something she said. Where's the, I think I have it. Do I have the rim shot? Hold on. I think I do. There we go, Freddie. That's for Fred. That's what she said. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next up, I got another device we'll check out, and it's this one. I've learned a lot from your videos. Thanks. Well, that's awesome, man. That's what it's really about. It's about learning. It's about teaching and learning and sharing, information. And by the way, I learn a lot from you guys too. I'm not like, the wizard from Oz, I don't know it all. So I get a lot of help from the guys too, especially on Discord. If you're not on Discord, get on Discord. A lot of good stuff happens in Discord. We teach each other. We banter ideas back and forth. We learn. So if you're not on Discord, make sure you get out there. Anyway, the next product, and this is another one that it was a kind of a moment this year. It's the Maytech CRSF to PWM converter. Now, I'm not sure exactly when this stuff came out. So like if I put something on the screen that came out, a year or two ago, whatever, this is a year that I experienced it because it was in my video list. So for that reason, I'm presenting this stuff. But these Maytech CRSF to PWM converters, I love them because they kind of changed the game. You can plug in a CRSF receiver, and that includes either the Crossfire from TBS or the Express LRS. You plug it in right here, and you convert that ELRS or CRSF signal to PWM, and you get 10 channels. So 10 channels of PWM output, and you get the added benefit of current and voltage. I really like these things. I've put them in several of my planes. I've flown with them quite a bit. I will tell you guys, if you do it, make sure you keep your leads short. You don't want to go crazy extending your leads between your battery and your ESC, because you get what's called a EMF water hammer effect. So you don't want that. Has nothing to do with the voltage or anything else. It's just a water hammer effect for extending your leads. So if you do make something like this, keep these leads as short as you can, and connect your ESC and your battery, and you'll be good to go. But I love these. I had that backwards, didn't I? And that's your battery, and this one's your ESC. So I do like these quite a bit, and they're reasonable. They're only like $10. And for the telemetry that you get out of it, running Express LRS, you get the current, and you can actually connect to GPS and get stats from your GPS, like your altitude and your speed. So it's a very cool little device. I love these things, and I've used them in several planes. I've gone back to this several times. They're cool little devices. So I'm going to check the comments here. John is the rat source. The rat source. The rate source. Keep drinking, Fred. Yeah, I don't know what that means, Freddie. I don't know if I like it. Oh, best source for OpenTX and EdgeTX. That I agree. I like to try and get a lot of information out there for OpenTX and Edge. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate you. You've helped me out a ton this year, says Mr. Meaty. Well, good. I'm glad. I like to help. That's what the community is about, right? Okay, let's see here. Next up. Oh, this thing. You guys aren't going to expect this one. I have a video for you. This is the first video, so I'm going to pop the video up, then we're going to take a look at it. Here, let's watch the video together. It's short. I promise it won't be a long video. I'll skip the intro. There we go. This video is actually on the channel. It did not get a whole lot of hits. I think it only got like 500 hits. Maybe my thumbnail was bad or the title was bad, but this is a neat video. I'm going to talk about why in a minute, but this little DJI Mini 2, good stuff. Wasn't that fun? I thought that was a fun video. I was really sad that that one got so few views because I just loved making it. It was one of those videos where I got to kind of be a little artistic and it wasn't about tech, and that one was just about being creative and enjoying the scenery and enjoying the club and enjoying the technology. And that's what I love about this little Mini 2. It's not that expensive. They're like $500, but man, what a camera platform this thing is. And anybody can fly this. I literally took this to my father-in-law, who's, you know, he's up there in years a little bit. And I got it up and running. I handed him the thing and I said, here, go fly this. And he's like, what? And I said, don't worry about it. You can't hurt it. And within 5 minutes, he was flying it all over the place. He flew it across the lake. He flew it back around. You know, he loved it. And that's what I think. These are amazing little platforms. It's like probably one of the more trouble-free radio-controlled things that we have. And I think DJI, obviously the Mini 3 is out right this year. So I've got the Mini 2, but I don't see a reason to upgrade yet. Maybe, you know, I might take a look at it. But these Mini 2s and Mini 3s, they are just amazing technology for the size and the price. I can't get over it. And I did have a lot of fun making that video. It was kind of cool. And that was just something boring. It was a flight field, and just even like a basic flight field like that, I was able to make something kind of cinematic and fun. So anybody can fly these. If you guys are filming stuff, you want to film your house or your kid's baseball game, I mean, anybody can use these. They're amazing. So I love the Mini 2. I still use it. I take it out pretty regularly, actually. I don't always put it on the channel because after getting only 500 hits on my best effort, I just decided, you know, stop putting videos up on it. But I still use this personally all the time, and I love it. Let's see, a couple of comments in there. Alex retracted a message, I think. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Short, that's what she said. Boy, Freddie, where is it? Do I have it? Fred, that's just for Freddie. Freddie's going to be the joke guy tonight, so that's awesome. Mini 2, love mine. Bill says it. You made a good choice on that, Bill, no doubt about it. I flew the FPV sled on it too. It was very cool. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, neat. The FPV sled, very neat. Lonnie says, I was wondering if you could give your opinion on the dual sky motor used in one of your recent planes. I think it was around. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a minute, Lonnie. Remind me, there's a section coming up for you. Remind me when that comes up, okay? Mr. Meaty says the Mini 2 is my first drone. Shows how new I am. Well, they're awesome. Yeah, they're awesome. These are awesome little drones. And you know what? With the Mini 3 out, these are reduced in price. They're like $500 now for a Fly More combo. Man, you cannot beat that. So again, links in the description if you want to get one. They will be after the video. They're not now because I didn't want to give everything away. That's why I didn't do it. I didn't want to give everything away. So go out and get yourself a Mini 2. It's my first drone, shows how new I am. Well, you'll have fun with it. All right, let's see. That was the Mini 2. Okay, this one you guys might give me a little grief for. You might not, I don't know. But I'm going to show this anyway, and it is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Now, you're going to say, wait a minute, that's not an RC product. And you're right. It's not. This is not something regarding flying that you guys necessarily see. But I'll tell you what, these devices have saved my bacon more times than I can even count this year. And I'm going to tell you something else, too. We use these. Freddie will acknowledge, and so will Dave, you know, if he shows up, or Tim, or even Shane, they'll acknowledge these come out every single time I fly. So if you run an FPV or a YouTube channel, and you're trying to grow your channel, let me give you one little tip. Audio means everything. If your audio sucks, people aren't going to watch your videos. And I've been working very hard on things like my audio and video in the last couple months. And these Rode Wireless Go receivers are just the whip in terms of giving you decent quality audio out there at the field. They do a great job with wind rejection. I use these pretty much every single day we go flying and we're going to film. So just wanted to throw those out there. There's other uses for them too. You know, I was at a wedding the other night, and unfortunately the brother was there. He was recording some of the information, and he didn't. He had a sound recorder, but he had to put it remote. And I don't know what kind of audio he was going to get with that. Had I known, I would have offered to bring these, and we could have hid them on the bride and groom somewhere. And got a decent recording for him. But anyway, I love these things. We fly with these every time. Dave and Freddie will attest. They always got a mic up. And Freddie actually knows how to operate these too. So, yep, love these things. The Rode Wireless Go 2. Very good stuff. Let's see. I flew the FPV sled on it too. It was very cool. Awesome. Lonnie says, we talked about dual sky. We'll get to that. Mini 2's yep, got that. Always take my Mavic with me. Yeah. Wolfie's smart. Take that Mavic out flying, man. It's a cool little device. How long does it fly? It kind of depends on the wind and how hard you're hitting it. But you can generally fly it for about 30 minutes, and they're only 2S batteries. And I'll tell you, the other thing that's really cool about this little Mavic Mini is that I can put it up into take it to the field, put it in a spot over the field somewhere and just let it hover and just leave it alone and go back to flying the planes or the helicopters or whatever. Because when it gets tired and wants to land, it just comes home and lands itself. It's very cool. It's a very cool device. I mean, if it's a camera on a quad, and it's really a camera platform. It's much less about being a quad and much more about being a camera. It's a camera that's on a quad. So that's the way I think of this device. So awesome stuff. Okay, the Rode Wireless Go 2, covered that. Safety tracks. Oh, and I got news for you guys. I have one other thing. Freddie, I love Fred. Fred's an awesome guy. He's a hoot to fly with. He's always got some insightful commentary about what's going on, and he's good to kind of push my limits. He helps me push my limits when I'm flying, because he always says, well, I think the last one was a little lower, and he's always so fun and polite about it. He's not like being a jackass going, man, that sucked, you're no good. He's just really fun. He's a good coach. So I always enjoy flying with Fred, but every now and then Fred and I get a little animated, and when we're flying, we clip. Well, I found a solution to the clipping problem, so that means that I can just let Freddie go in all his glory. He can be Fred, and I can have him not clip. So that's going to be coming up soon. I have to buy it still, and when I do buy it, I'm gonna incorporate that into the recording mix, and then Freddie can be Freddie, and we'll continue having fun recording. So stand by for that. But that's one more improvement I'm going to make in the audio system on the channel coming up. So hang tight for that. All right, can fly for 25 to 29 minutes, says Dave. Yeah, that's about my experience. It depends on the wind. If the wind's a little heavier, or if you're hammering it in that sport mode, it'll be a little less. But Mr. Meaty says, Lau, I've got those too. Really great product. They are. These Rode Wireless Go mics are really good. The safety track is so cool. The safety track has saved my bacon plenty of times, because what happens is it records at your standard gain and a reduced gain. So if somebody gets a little boisterous, you can take the reduced gain version and plop that in your editor and use that instead. And that has saved my bacon so many times. Oh, and I also do the local recording too. Don't forget about that. There have been times when the wireless signal got disrupted a little bit, and I was able to take the recording off the transmitter and use that instead. It works. So these are amazing devices. I think they're really good. I've had good experience with them. I'd say my only problem with them is that I've had some of that wireless interference. The body, like if you have clear line of sight, it's good for like 150 feet. It's a very good range on these line of sight. But if the body gets between the transmitter and receiver, then it's game over. It'll start crackling on you, and that's a problem. But that's, it's wireless. It's not, I don't really consider, it's not a fault of Rode. That's just a function of what wireless is. It's got, you attenuate the signal. It's all you can say. So you got to be careful not to attenuate your signal. Get them up high, or make sure they have clear line of sight back to the receiver. So good stuff, especially if you have a YouTube channel. You need to get some of those. All right, let's see. I'm checking questions as we go. What Hobie says, they tickle my chin. Yeah, they tickle my chin. I need one. Yeah, if you're recording any video, man, those Rode Wireless Go's are the way to go. No pun intended. All right, let's see what's next. This one. This one is one. I'm going to tell you guys a quick little thing. So let's bring this guy into the picture, and I'm going to zoom out. I have a bigger camera angle for this. So this is the T1, the He-Wing T1 Ranger, and here's what happened with this plane. I flew it, and it flies great. I have a co-pilot in it. It's an amazing little airplane. It flies just spectacular. But at my field, just to, I don't want to call out any names, but there's a guy just being a jerk about FPV. Well, let's leave it at that. And so because he was being a jerk, I decided, you know what, I just don't want to hassle with it anymore, so I'm not going to do it. So I kind of got away from FPV a little bit at the field. At our new field, they're like, yeah, we don't really care. Just have fun, go do your thing. It's fine. So I'm going to be getting this one back out. And the reason I'm putting this on the table is because this is a $139 plug and play, and its aerodynamic properties are superb. Like you can put this on the ground. You don't even have to hand launch it. Although Copilot has a very easy hand launch. You can literally put this on the runway and just take off. So you don't have to hand launch it. You can launch it from the ground. It's cheap. It's got that EPP, very durable foam. It's got the twin motors, so you don't have bad yaw tendencies. You don't have bad behavior in the air with torque. And you can fit a DJI unit in it. Right now I've got analog, of course, but guess what it's going to get? You guys know what it's going to get, right? I'm definitely going to put some DJI in the He-Wing T1 Ranger. That's the analog camera. And I'll be flying this more. Whoops, sorry about the bump on the camera. I'll be flying this one more now that I'm at a field where they embrace FPV and they don't whine about it like some people. So the He-Wing T1 Ranger, I feel like that plane got some short shrift because right after I flew it, that's when we had this little ruckus about flying FPV at my field. And even though I hadn't technically done anything wrong, it still became a thing. So I was annoyed about it and I said to hell with it. I'm going to stop flying FPV. So anyway, that's that. The T1 Ranger, that's a good little airplane if you do an FPV. Really good little airplane. I recall when I flew it having very positive opinions about the experience. Aerodynamic wise, it was great. Hey, cheers, fellas. Drink up. All right, let's see. Bob McCarthy, Happy New Year. Good to see you, Bob. Glad you can make it, my Alta. I hope I got that right. I have to leave. It was already 2 a.m. Take care, my friend. Flight Lieutenant, Happy New Year, mate. Cheers from Australia. Welcome to the show. Glad you can make it. That's what she said. Oh, another that's what she said. All right, there we go. New field, more FPV. That's right. And if you guys don't remember, I mean, some of you might remember, some of you might not, but I have a mini Drac that I haven't even flown yet because that also happened around that time. You know, I was building the mini Drac and all that noise happened. So I said, yeah, that's it. I'm not going to mess with it. All right. Almost all reviews of the T1 were great. Yeah, it is a good little airplane. I would say my statement would be that if the review of the T1 Ranger were not good, then the reviewer did something very wrong. All right, let's see. I have more. We have more to get through here. I'm going to bring these up. These are the ER5A. I don't have the C because the C's in the plane, but you guys remember these. These are the Radio Master Express LRS PWM receivers. Now, the reason I like these is because this is Express LRS going mainstream. We've got a manufacturer with some manufacturing capabilities, with good engagement with the developers. And I love seeing the fact that we now have Express LRS with PWM and a mainstream receiver that doesn't require any soldering, sorry, trying to get that right. No soldering required. And they're awesome. They work great. Of course, the range is spectacular. And I love these because they're going mainstream. In fact, if you aren't aware, pretty much everything I've got, except for my helicopters, is now running Express LRS or will get Express LRS. It's one of the two. It either has it or they're going to get it, except for the helicopters. And let me tell you, the reason I'm not going to mess with the helicopters right now is because I have receivers in them that work. And the helicopters are kind of complex. You've got governors and telemetry and all this other stuff, right? So we've got all this gear and they work the way they are. I don't see any reason to unfold that stuff just to switch the receiver. So I'm going to leave the helicopters probably just the way they sit. And but everything else, all my fixed wing, all my quads, everything I have is going to get Express LRS. So I love the fact that Radio Master made this a mainstream product, and we're going to see much, much more of this, I can assure you. I am positive of that. So the Express LRS, Radio Master ER5A and ER5C, these are number 14 on the list. Mainstream, dev collaborations, all good. All good stuff. Okay, I got another, it's not a video, but I have a, let's see here. Oh, this was during the reboot. Hold on, I'm going to bring the desktop back. Let's see here. Do I have audio? Okay, I have audio. I lost my browser because I had to do a reboot trying to get the thing to work, but it's okay. It's going to be real quick. As long as you guys can hear me, we're still here. I want to bring that browser back up and we're going to show you guys some stuff. I've got more to show you. Let me just get my browser arranged here, and I got a couple more things right here, and then this one. So let me see here. Let's see. I have I'm just bringing up a website and I'm almost there, guys. I'm going to bring this on. You're going to see it. It's going to be all good in just a moment. Okay, there you go. All right, so I hope you can all see that. This one, I wanted to bring this up because Lonnie asked the question earlier, and I'm just going to tell you that in terms of motors, I've developed a amazing affinity for these Sunny Sky motors. I'm going to just tell you guys right now, when it comes to motors, these are the motors. I have tested so many of these motors. I've gone to the bench. I put them on my bench when I can. I put them on my bench tester, the Judge. And I'm just telling you that when it comes to motors, Sunny Sky V3 is always my very first stop. I'm always going to go there first and check to see if Sunny Sky has something that will work for my application, because they've always been really good. They make the power, they're efficient, they're quiet, they're priced right, they ship quickly. So Sunny Sky, and also make sure you look for the Sunny Sky V3. Make sure you look for the Sunny Sky V3. I love the Sunny Sky V3 motors, and they are absolutely my first choice at this point. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the question Lonnie had, and Lonnie's question was, what did you think about the Dual Sky? And my answer is, it's amazing. I think the Dual Sky is a very solid motor, super high quality motor. I think it makes, I didn't measure it. I'm just going to be honest with you, but I can compare it to other motors in the same class, and it felt fantastic. So but you guys know I like to deal in facts, right? I like to deal in numbers where I measure stuff out. The hard part about these big motors, I haven't measured them out yet. However, I do have a plan to do it. Dave and I've got some equipment. I bought some equipment. I bought some scales and some tools to measure some of the torque and the thrust on these the thrust on these higher end motors. So stand by. That's going to happen. I promise you, you're going to see that, because I bought the equipment to do it. But we need to be at the field, and I need some help when I'm there, because these planes are big, and I don't want to try and do that type of testing without a little extra, some extra hands. So hang tight for that. But I wanted to pop Sunny Sky up there because, again, when it comes to what I rely on and what I go back to, I'm religiously going back to Sunny Sky motors for power. Now, here's the bad news, and I do want to give you guys a little bit of bad news about Sunny Sky, just so you understand what the deal is. Their support sucks. Their support after the sale sucks. And I'm telling you that because on one motor, I contacted them multiple times asking a question. I contacted them via email. I contacted them via phone, and they didn't reply to me, not once. So that's a give and take with Sunny Sky. Like, if you think, you're happy with the power and you trust their motors, that's great. I can tell you, putting them in the plane, they're good. But I can also tell you that their support sucks. I'm not happy with their support at all. And if they ever watch this video, I'm calling you guys out. You guys have to do better. You have to answer your phone. You have to return your damn phone calls. And I don't really care if you got system problems. It doesn't matter to me. You got to figure that out. If somebody calls you, you got your phone number. Hey, if you want the phone number, it's right on the website. Look, I'm not even kidding. Let's see. It's right here. It's right here. It's right on the website. You call that number and you're going to get voicemail. And I called that number repeatedly, 5 times, not a single return phone call. So I was pretty distressed about that, given how good the motors are, but how poor the support was. It was just not great. Cheers, drink. Take a swig. All right, let's see what's next. That's a Sunny Sky. Oh, this is another one of those things that was kind of a surprise. Like, I never even saw this coming. I got these. Okay, so there's a backstory on this. I was upgrading chargers during the year, and I got an ISDT bad air charger. I didn't like it. I sent the charger back. But when I got the charger, I got a couple of these plugins, and they work outside of the use of the charger. And I'll tell you what I like about them is you put them on your battery, they pair with your phone, and you press this little button and you see their voltage on the phone. And the other thing I like about them is that they will discharge the battery automatically down to storage for you. Now, I try and do a really good job of managing my battery and my storage voltages, but every now and then, I go flying, I get busy, I come back, do a video, wife asks me to do something, I might forget. And what I love about these things is they don't have a high discharge rate, but man, they will sit there and religiously discharge your battery down to storage for you. So if you forget, or if you didn't get, quite that far, or if you threw it in the box at 3.9 and thought, it'll be fine, this one will take it down to 3.85 for you. It's very cool. I have these on all of my 6-cell batteries, non-helicopter batteries. All my 6-cell non-helicopter batteries have these on them. So very cool little device. You get a 5-pack for like $25, and they have different cells. That's one thing to be careful about, is they have different cell counts. So make sure if you need a 6-cell, you get a 6-cell plug-in, but you do not need to have a bad air charger for them to work. And here you get, okay, so you get the discharge, you get the pairing on the phone, so you can see the voltage on your phone. You can get the cycle count, and I like to see that, because if you have 4 batteries and you use the same one over and over and over, you know, cycle through. So it'll help you with your cycle count too, to keep your batteries kind of, you know, run through your batteries. I love these things. And they remain on all of my big airplane batteries, all of them. And I need to buy more, so I'll keep doing that. So the bad air plugins, that was a surprise little gift, you know, a surprise little tech increase in the air that I never even saw coming. And I got it as a result of buying chargers that could program the charge profile based on how you set the plug-in up. But if you work with a bad air charger, that's even more power for you. Kind of turns your battery into a smart battery, but it's portable. So when the battery goes bad, you take this off and you put it on the next one, right? That's cool, because you're not paying that premium price for every single battery. You get the cheaper battery, and you just add one of these to it, and when the battery dies, you move on. So it's a cool little device. I love these things. Bad air plugins are very cool. I got links for all this stuff, so don't worry about it. It'll show up in the thing. Okay, next up. All right, this is a good one. These things are probably now. Radio Master just came out with their dual antenna, and I have not put it on an airframe yet. So I want to just be clear with Radio Master, because, you know, I love those guys. But I can tell you from my experience this year with these Maytech R24Ds, this is a Maytech R24D Express LRS receiver. These things are rock freaking solid. I can tell you, flying with these and looking at my log data, my RQLY has been amazingly solid with these for line of sight. I wouldn't hesitate to put one of these in any PWM application I've got. All you have to do is make sure you marry it up to one of the devices we talked about earlier that can convert your CRSF to PWM. So you can do that. But I love these R24Ds for receiver technology. They're amazingly powerfully strong and stable. So when I look at my RQLY stats on my logs for flying, line of sight, man, they're rock solid. The transmission power gets locked in at 25 milliwatts. The RQLY goes between like 91 and 100, which is ridiculously solid. Very, very good. And I can't get enough of these things. I expect that the Radio Master will perform just as well. I just haven't tested it yet. So Radio Master may show up on the list for next year. But for 2022, I got to give props to Maytech for this R24D. They're slightly more expensive, but man, this is a good freaking receiver. I'm telling you right now, for Express LRS, this one's a winner. No question about it. You got to have regression strategies. You know, sometimes you can get the Radio Master, sometimes you can't. Maybe sometimes you get the Maytech, sometimes you can't. So it's good to have strategies like that. All right, let's go back to the desktop, and we're going to put some background music on. I'm going to check comments and see what I missed. I know I've been going for a little bit. I'll just check in and see what did I miss here. Let's see. Hello from Portugal, Ricardo Martins. How you doing, my friend? Glad you can make it. Hobie says new field, more FPV. That's right, bud. Definitely going to be more FPV. No doubt about it. No doubt. I actually did that FPV flying tour and just was amazed at how much I missed flying with those DJI goggles, which are so awesome. So anyway, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for all the well-deporting videos. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. You're welcome, Peter. I'm glad to help. Hobie says gimme. He wants a gimme tonight, huh? I don't know, Hobie. I didn't plan one, man. I didn't plan one. Where is our Canadian friend? I don't know, Bill. I hit him up on Discord. He's talking about Robert. I asked him on Discord what's going on. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm kind of disappointed. I hope he's okay. But yeah, I haven't seen him since like Christmas. So, Robert, man, if you're out there, here's a cheers to you, buddy. You know, Happy New Year. Take a drink. Everybody drink. Everybody take a drink. Cheers. All right. Let's see. Drinking with you in Oklahoma. That's my man, Alan. Alan's having a drink with me. That's awesome. Way to go, Alan. Just drink responsibly. Remember that. All right. Drink responsibly. Okay, I think we're caught up on the comments, so let's get back to the material. We just did the R24D. Next one I'm going to bring up is, here we go. It is this guy. This is the Hobby Eagle A3 Super 2, and that's not the one that I meant to show you. This is the one I meant to show you. That A3 Super 2 is for something else, but it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. This is A3 Super 4. Here we go. Everybody drink. John made a mistake. A3 Super 4. And I'll tell you why I like these. There's two main reasons I like them. Number one, they configure quite well with Express LRS. So, you know, you got that channel 5 limitation. You can work around that on this one. And you can also output throttle on this guy. So these output leads, you can configure them to be whatever you want. Output 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's very good. It just needs an S-Bus feed in, which you can get with a converter. And if you haven't seen it, this is what the converter looks like. So a Maytech R24D with an S-Bus converter right into a Hobby Eagle. And man, that is the money right there. That is such a cool arrangement. So number one, I like them for that reason. They integrate so well with Express LRS. And another reason that I really like them is because in using them for stabilization, they're really good. I was out flying the other day and I forgot what plane it was, but the wind was just crap. I didn't like it at all. Wind was terrible. And I turned the stabilizer on just to help with wind rejection. And I was just blown away at how smooth it was. And if you do, you know, the other modes like the attitude modes and whatever, they're really good there too. So these Hobby Eagles, they tick all the boxes. That's all I can say. You can use them with Express LRS. You have configurable outputs. You can put your throttle on there. They've got all the flight modes you can care for. They take S-Bus or, you know, the CRSF conversion from CRSF to S-Bus. You can do that. And they've got a master gain that you can configure on your radio. So as you can see, I always keep spares of these. The downside is they're getting harder. It seems like they're getting harder to find. I found them on Amazon, and the only ones they sell now are like $90 because the only option they have is the one that includes a programming card, which is terrible. So that's kind of a bummer. I'll put a link in the description. I think you can get them on AliExpress as well, but you know, not every plane needs a stabilizer, but if you do, the A3 Super 4, man, I just can't say enough about these. I love these things. I just love them. They're really, really good. And I'll keep using these for sure. So Hobby Eagle A3 Super 4, you should be able to get them for about $50. That's about the normal, somewhere in that range. If you see them for 80, it's because of that ridiculous. That's not ridiculous. It's because of the programming card. You have to add the programming card. So that's that. The Hobby Eagle A3. Let's see what's going on here. Robert's on a ski trip with the family. Oh, is that what's going on? Well, good. That's a good reason to not be around. I hope he's having a good time. That man deserves it too. I'll tell you what, that he works crazy hours. It's ridiculous. Precious does miss Robert. I think you're right. Umbrella Corp says hello. Happy New Year. Welcome. And let's see. Oh, that deserves, hold on. That deserves, Robert misses Precious. There we go. All right, drink. Drink. All right, let's see what's next here. Freddie still sober? Is he? No, he's not sober. He hasn't been sober in a while. Is he still with us? That's the question we have to ask. Is Freddie still out there? I know what Fred does. He joins the live stream and he takes a nap. That's what he does. He's like Archie Bunker, right? He turns on the TV, goes nap in his chair. Okay, let's see what's next. Oh, this one. This is another amazing product for 2022. I was so happy when they asked me to review this product. I was just so lucky. I was lucky. I mean, I had an M2 and I probably would not have bought the Evo had I not. I probably wouldn't have bought the Evo at all because I had an M2 and this is just really the next generation of it. But man, I'll tell you, these M2 Evo helicopters are, hey, Fred, I said helicopter, helicopter, helicopter. Come back, Fred, helicopter. These M2 Evos are just solid little helicopters. They fly as good as any large scale. I mean, they have all of the mechanics needed to fly the same as the larger scale, including a 700. They fly equivalent. Now, I got to be careful here because, you know, the helicopter guys be like, wait a minute. Now, what I'm talking about is that the behavior is the same, right? Now in wind, of course, the 700 flies different. The 700s have those great big rotor discs that are they can be a little floaty. So obviously all those things are a little bit different. However, this has the same characteristics and mannerisms as a full size. The one thing that it doesn't have that the full size have is the variable pitch propeller on the tail. So that's a fixed pitch propeller that's governed by the speed of the tail rotor. So that's the one thing that you have to be aware of. Okay, so the M2 Evo, I like them because they're priced right. They're about $300. It's all in. You don't have to build it. The batteries are cheap. If you crash, they're so light that you can repair them fairly easy, fairly cheaply. I've crashed my M2 a couple of times, and mostly it just breaks some servo arms or maybe a couple of these ball links, and that's about it. And you know, maybe the canopy, and so what? You break the canopy, they're like $8 for another canopy. So I love the M2 Evos because I think they fly really well, and they're good. To me, they're a really good trainer or lead in to the bigger stuff. So I think the M2 Evo, from a product standpoint, price standpoint, there's a lot of value here for the money at $300, man. You got a completely working helicopter that's going to fly very similar to the big stuff. And if you're interested in learning, this is a great way to start. This was the M2 Evo was my first helicopter, by the way. First one. All right. I'll leave that there for a little ambiance. What's going on here in the comments? Do we have any comments here? Did Freddie come back? Did Fred wake up? Freddie, we're talking about helicopters. All right. Hello, all. Lyle Z Bear. What are we drinking tonight? I got a little, for me, I've got a little pecan praline whiskey on the rocks. I like it a little watered down a little. Takes a little sting out of it. But a little pecan praline. So drink. Yeah. There we go. All right. Little sippy. It's good, man. I love that stuff. It's going to be a fun night. Okay. Let's see. What else we got? So that was the OMP M2. Oh, okay. Here's the next one. I'm going to zoom in for this one. Oops. What the heck was that for? Oh, that was turned on. That was a mistake. Anyway, next up are KST servos. Now, what I have in front of you is a X12 708, and these will be going into an upcoming build. And it's not necessarily about this model, but the reason I'm sharing this with you is that I like KST servos in general. They seem to have a very good value equation, which means a lot of power, a lot of torque, a lot of speed for the money. That's what I'm trying. That's the point. And I actually did a very in-depth analysis on servos and how to evaluate and assess them for price and value. And the KSTs perform well. They show up at the top of that list pretty regularly. So, and of course they're a sponsor of the channel, but trust me when I tell you guys, that has nothing to do with it. The KST did send me the servo, but that's not why they're on the list. They're on the list because I like them. I bought KST servos and put them in all of my helicopters, and so far they've been amazing. And those were paid for. Those were not sponsored. And if you know anything about helicopters, some of those big ones, they get expensive, right? You in a 700, you're in that $2,500 range for a 700 helicopter, right? They're not cheap. And they're running KST servos. So I use KST in my big stuff, and I really like them. So KST servos, they were kind of like a little surprise to me this year. I learned about them. I enjoy them, and I'm a fan. I think they have a good equation on value for the money. So KST servos. All right, let's see. Brian Chambers is here. Four Eyes is here. All right. Four Eyes is talking nonsense about the Bucks. Don't spoil anything, man. I'm going to watch that game. So if you spoil anything, we're going to mute you. Don't give away the score. I want to see that. Don't give it away. No football scores. That's bad. Bad. All right. Got to say your desktop camera is doing an amazing job focusing. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you. Camera's working hard. I'm learning. I'll tell you what, man, that GH5 Mark II is kicking my butt. I'm trying so hard. If you're on Discord, go look in the Chit Chat channel, and you'll see a section in there where I showed how I was doing some of my color grading work. And I'm learning some stuff, but boy, the color grading is really exciting. That's a whole new field of information. So, all right, let's see. Next up, next up is we're going back to this screen, and we're going to drop the sunny sky for just a second here. Where is it? That's got to go. Sunny sky is out, and we're going to go to this one. So Skywing planes. This was another one that was a surprise this year to me. And let me tell you what I like about Skywing. I like them because when you compare a now, first off, I want to be clear about something. I love Extreme Flight, right? Extreme Flight, really good stuff. Top shelf, like no question about it. Top shelf stuff. Skywing, I understand, had some problems. I never had any of their older stuff. I've only had their newer stuff. And I can tell you that my experience with their newer stuff has been that it's been solid. You know, I've got a Skywing. I've got this one, not the 116. I've got the 85-inch Edge. This should be on view all. Let's see if I can find it. 85-inch. There she is. I've got that one. The 85-inch extra NG, that's an amazing airplane. It's so beautiful in the sky, flies well, flies better than me, you know, you guys know that. So here's why I like the Skywings though. What you don't see is what's under the covers. You got to pay attention. They include things like the spinner. So on this big plane, if you go look at a spinner for an 85-inch plane, the spinner is going to run you $75. So when you look at this price, you say, well, that's $749 compared to say an extreme flight, which might be $850 or $805 or whatever they happen to be. But add another $75 for the spinner. And then they also, just to point out, they also have all the fuselage, all the surfaces, the ailerons, rudder, elevator, they're all pin hinged and sealed. So again, we're modeling, you know, we're kind of having fun. I know we have some people who are real modelers and some are just putting our ARFs together, whatever. But when they do that kind of work for you, it just saves time. It's convenient. And there should be a value assessed to that. So I got to give Skywing a lot of props for stuff like that. And their landing gear is also really good. Their landing gear assemblies are awesome. So I've been very pleased that we have Skywing out there, because it's not necessarily them like pitting Skywing against Extreme Flight, but what I am saying is that competition is good for us, right? As a consumer, competition is good for us. So having a manufacturer out there that can produce high quality ARFs that compete on a level with Extreme Flight, that's good for you. All right, it's good for me. So I was really happy to discover Skywing this year. I've got some of my first ones. I got this one too. I got the Slick, the 73-inch. You guys remember, that's a beautiful airplane. I love the Slick, and it's a good flyer. In fact, I was going to go flying today. I'll probably try and go tomorrow. But the Slick, that's a beautiful airplane. I love flying that one. So Skywing's making some good stuff. And you guys also remember, my OBS is reacting to mouse clicks. All right, shouldn't do that. But anyway, if you remember when we did the shootout, the Edge 540, this one, the 61-inch Edge 540, acquitted itself quite well in the shootout, if you guys remember that. So they're good airplanes. They're making good quality stuff. And for that reason, just in general, I wanted to put Skywing planes on the list of top products for the year, because not only did I buy one, I bought three, you know, and after I bought the first one, I went back for a couple more, and I'm glad I did. I like them. They're good. They're good aircraft. All right, let's go back to the desktop a little bit. Put a little music on for a second, and we'll see what's going on here. I'm going to check comments. There's a little background music for you guys. Let's see what's happening with comments. Happy New Year. Where's the Canadian? Might have better luck with Buddy RC for Sky. Oh yeah, for Sunny Sky. Yeah, that's, by the way, Sunny Sky does. Buddy RC does sell Sunny Sky, so that's true. Drinking with you in Oklahoma. I think we covered that. We covered some of this stuff. What are we drinking tonight? We covered that. Freddie is taking a nap. Go Bucks. Got to say your desktop camera. Okay, looks like my new katana. Hobie's been trying to talk me out of my katana, man. I don't know, Hobie. I don't know. I'm gonna keep that. Did Freddie wake up yet? He's still sleeping. I don't think. Whoa, I don't think he did. Let's see. Riz says, is there an FPV camera with IMU on board besides the Hawkeye split? Inertial management besides the Hawkeye split. IMU. I assume you're talking about a gyro. Is that what your reference is? I assume that's what it is. It's kind of funny you bring that up. I mean, the timing on that is just really weird. Hang tight. We're going to come back to that question. Tell me if, when you say IMU, if that's what you mean by gyro. Okay, let's see. Next up. Okay, next up, we're going to get on to the next topic, the next thing. Did everyone take a drink? Take a drink. Time to drink. You're talking about a gyro. Okay. Well, you just sit yourself down and hang tight there, Riz. You came to the right place, my friend. All right. Overhead camera. This is... You know, I'll tell you what, man, OBS with all this text scrolling, it did not like that. I think there's some bug in here. It doesn't like all this text scrolling. Anyway, I think we're back in business, so sorry about that. We're going to get right back to it, though. So I'm going to go back to the big camera, the overhead camera. Yeah, there we go. We switched that time. Okay, just took a slug of bourbon. That's the way. That a boy, Mr. Skyrider. Bill says the waiting is the hardest part. Freddie, where's Fred? What's Fred doing? I don't know what's going on with this live stream tonight. It just keeps, that's weird. It just, OBS is acting weird with all the text. Anyway, well, let's get back to it. Riz, we're going to come back to your question, so hang tight. And then KSD Servo Skywing Planes, here we go. Now, you guys thought it was a Radio Master TX16S, didn't you? But it's not. It is the Ranger. And here's another reason that I'm really happy with what's going on with Radio Master in the Ranger series, is that they've mainstreamed this module, right? There've been other modules out there, but this is integrated, right? They're making like production quality antennas. This looks like it belongs on a Sirius radio, right? It's a production quality antenna. It's not just a couple of active elements hanging out in the wind, right? They've got a plastic cover. They've got the ability to update via the USB-C right here on the back, and you don't even have to flip dip switches. So Radio Master, I was really happy to see them get in the game, and I know that we'll continue to see improvements in Express LRS because Radio Master is now involved. They're involved in production, and they're also working closely with the developers. So the Radio Master Ranger, I'm just thrilled to see that being kind of mainstream by what I consider probably is one of the larger radio manufacturers out there these days. You know, I think Radio Master, I don't know where they rank in terms of production, but you know, they're out there, right? A lot of people use them, so they're not going anywhere. And I love seeing that they're making products like this that are very well finished products. And of course, the Ranger, the full size Ranger, you know, that's got all the bling, man. That's got the lights and the you know, the buttons and the LEDs on the side and the screen, the OLED screen, and you know, it's cool. It's definitely got some bling factor. But man, I love this one, the Micro. This is integrated. You can see this is my production radio. This is the radio that I fly with every single day at the field. All of my planes, all of my aircraft, all my FPV stuff, they all get this radio, and you can see that's the module that I use. Now, I'm sure eventually I will switch to an internal Express LRS. That'll happen. But in the meanwhile, I'll continue to use the Ranger system until I make that change. So really very happy with the Ranger system. All right, I do. Yeah, the metal handle. Yeah, I stole that off of my church. Remember, if you guys follow the channel, this was the church radio. This was the church radio. I stole all the stuff off the church radio and put it on here. So that's what that is. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm a new guy in the hobby. What do these modules do? I see some so often have no clue what their functions are. Okay, Charles, that's a good question. So the modules, they give you access to different RF tech. So here's the example. Like in this radio right now, I have a 4-in-1 module. So if you go to the multi-protocol modules website, you'll find that this particular radio has a 4-in-1 module, and it has access to a ton of protocols, but it doesn't have access to Express LRS. So by adding one of these modules in the back, we can tell the radio, hey, utilize a protocol called CRSF. And for this particular model, I want you to transmit out of this interface. And so it adds another RF tech for you. That's what these modules essentially do. They give you another type of RF technology that you can use on your radio. And there are other kinds of modules too. You've got Crossfire, you've got XJTs, you know, there's Tracer, Ghost, you know, there's other modules you can add, and that's what they do. They give you access to RF tech that didn't exist within the radio. It's external, so you're kind of bolting it on after the fact. It's almost like adding, I don't want to say supercharger in the sense that it gives you, you know, like a supercharged engine. That's not kind of, but it's like an add-on thing that you would do to a car, like maybe, you know, cold air intake or something, a little more performance, right? You can do a little bit more with it, but you bolt it on. It's an after thing, right? That's kind of what those modules are about. And the Radio Master Ranger, it's been great. I've been flying it on all my stuff. Everything I have that I've flown since I got the Ranger has been flown with that module, and I love them. So let's see. Love that metal handle. Okay, I'm a new guy. Stan Johnson, looks like a real nice radio. I love this radio. I even printed myself some 3D printed red caps for things like my throttle cut and my instant trim. I've got my button up there for the LEDs. So if I want to turn the LEDs on, I can do that. But yeah, here. See that? Isn't that cool? I like my lights, man. I like my bling. This is my radio. And these AGO1 gimbals, too. You got to love the AGO1s, right? I mean, what's not to like about AGO1 gimbals? But yeah, that's my radio. It's good. It's good. I take this to the field, and people who don't know anything about it, they'll ask me questions. They'll say, how much does a radio like that cost? Is it $3,000 or $4,000? I'm like, no, it's $250. And most of them fall off their chair when I say that. They're like, what? Yeah, they can't believe it, especially with the capabilities that it has, you know, with the edge and everything else. So, yeah. Anyway, Radio Master Ranger, that is number 6 on the list. Now we're going to come back. Riz had a question. Oh, wait, hold on. Yakman, what's the Ranger like in the heat? I always fly in 35-degree plus. Well, I haven't flown in too much heat yet, although I live in Florida, and in Florida, we get pretty regular. It's 95 degrees outside with 95% humidity. So I would say that I will find out. I'll put it that way. I will find out. How's that sound? All right. Radio Master service is top notch. They are good. Radio Master tries to do the right things right. No one's perfect, right? Nobody, no company, no human, nobody's perfect. But I agree with you. Radio Master does. They try and do the right things right. So there you go. Okay. Wow. Great. Now something else I have to buy. Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, Express LRS is my primary RF tech going forward. It is the primary technology I'll use in for my flying going forward for the foreseeable future. Right. Absolutely. Dave said, I just received my Ranger Micro module. First impression is fantastic. Isn't it nice? He's talking about this module. This is the Micro, by the way. That's what Dave's referring to, is the Micro module. I love how it's so seamless with radio too. It looks like it was designed and it's part of the radio. I mean, I just love it. And you can upgrade it without dip switches. That's cool too. I mean, you can stick your USB in there, update it. You don't have to change dip switches. You don't have to unscrew it and take it apart. That's a really nice feature. I mean, what are you going to say? I love it. You guys see that I'm still on Express LRS 2.7.1, right? I still haven't migrated to 8 yet. Not yet. Not my production yet. I'm still watching. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. A little music. I think this is going to load up and work this time. Hopefully. Hopefully. All right, drink. Let's see. I'm going to check questions, then we'll move on. Okay. 3D switch caps. Nice. Yep. 3D switch. They're 3D switch screws. Yeah, switch screws. I think I've seen some people print 3D switch caps out of TPU too. The black caps are not printed. They're rubber. They're the Radio Master switch caps. I don't mean to mince words with you, Bill. I'm just saying, the covers, that is from Radio Master, and the screw caps that's 3D printed. So, all right, Drummond D. Stewart Sr. I changed the soul pack of my volume, still a little low. Any recommendations? Sound pack and my volume is still a little low. Any recommendations? Hey, just all you can really do is make sure you get the one right off of the Edge TX website. Don't use the one that's included with the radio, and if you've done that, that's really the best you can do. And by the way, that's one of those areas where I've asked Radio Master about it. I've said, hey, what's up with the volume? And I think they're aware of it. They understand that people are concerned about the volume. And all I can say is hopefully in an upcoming iteration, maybe we'll see an improvement there. It's one of those areas where I think they can make some improvements, no doubt. All right, Riz, I haven't forgotten about you, man. We're coming back to you. I'm going to go back to the overhead camera. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And Riz asked a question. Let me go back. I want to see what his exact question was. He said, is there an FPV camera with IMU on board besides the Hawkeye split? Now, here's the problem. You say FPV camera. Let's see. It's gripe. I'm getting gripes from YouTube again about the video. Are we sending? I'm sending. Are you guys seeing it? It's something stuck. Something stuck. YouTube is stuck. It's complaining about data. All right, I think we're back. Hang tight. Not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. Open widget. YouTube is not receiving enough. Hang tight. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You say it's good there, Dave? All right, then I'll keep going. It looks okay to me too, but I'm seeing jitter on my browser. Anyway, so Riz, here's the thing. There is an FPV camera that's got an IMU and it's run cam. Now, the problem is it doesn't have video out, so you can't use this as your primary. There's Robert. He made it in. Hey, Robert, we're drinking, man. I know you don't drink, but cheers, buddy. Glad you can make it. I don't know what's going on with YouTube hates me tonight. We're just battling. We're having a fight. That's why I'm drinking. That's the only way I can resolve it. Yeah, big two bros all at it again, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so Riz, here's the answer to your question. I did a video on this RunCam Thumb Pro, and it's got gyro data. So it doesn't actually have a stabilizer built in, but it outputs gyro data that you can use with GyroFlow. So you can combine your video footage and your GyroFlow data, and it does a fantastic job stabilizing your footage. So I was very impressed with my experience on the RunCam Thumb Pro. I haven't had the opportunity yet to get it integrated into aircraft that I'm flying. And by the way, this was sponsored by Hobie. Hobie wanted me to work with this one, so he sent it to me. So I will be doing some more work with it, so hang tight, it's coming. But the RunCam Thumb Pro does have stabilizer. The only problem is it's not really like a, like it's not your FPV camera. This is for it's for HD material, right? That's what this is for. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. One job, just one. There it is. Robert's back, man. I appreciate you, Robert. Glad you can make it, man. I hit you on Discord and I didn't see a response. I was a little worried. Somebody said you were on a ski trip. I think Bill said you were on a ski trip. Thanks, Hobie, for giving it to John. That was sweet, great footage. Yeah. We're gonna work with this. That's for sure. We're gonna spend some time with this. It's gonna wind up on something now, that especially not like an FPV. So Riz, just to answer your question, man, the only thing I can tell you is that you can use the RunCam footage for HD. It's not a video camera for flying. You don't use it connected to your goggles. But if you're looking for HD footage after the fact, this is a very good solution. I've been very impressed with it so far. And all I can say is I need to spend more time with it. I need to get it out to the field. I want to do things like see how it handles dynamic range. That's one of my areas that I'm always concerned with. And I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't have video out. They could have done video out. I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't. So anyway, neat little device. RunCam Thumb Pro, that's actually on my list. That was number 5 on the list. RunCam Thumb Pro 4K. They're cheap, like $85, and they've got stabilized video. I mean, how can you beat that? That's amazing. All right, let's see. Robert is at the Silver Star Ski Resort with the whole family. That's awesome, dude. I hope you have a great time. I know you've earned it for sure, man. There's no doubt about that. So I hope you're having a spectacular time out with your family, my friend. That's awesome. Awesome to hear it. And you can't run into the office. So run into the shop to do more work. So that's good. All right, let's see, Riz. I hope that answers your question. That's the best I can give you right now. In terms of an FPV feed with an IMU, that I'm not sure about. Yakman says, with Ranger module, I confused about the reviews, what to get, and do a lot of FPV as well as 3D as well. If you're confused about which module to get, I would say for me, my primary is the micro. And the reason I chose the micro over the Ranger is to do with size and weight. The Ranger is a big module, man. That thing is big and heavy. And when you lay it down on the table, your radio rocks. Like, it rocks like that. And I don't like that. Even with the handle, it rocks. That's how big it is. Now, if you're really serious about FPV and you want to do configurations from the back, the Ranger might make sense for you. But for me, for flying the way I'm kind of mostly using this these days, the Ranger Micro does just fine. And by the way, the power output on both is the same. It's not like one has got a substantially higher power output than the other. Just keep that in mind. They're both about the same. Okay. So yes, you did. All right. We covered it. Good. Glad we covered it. It's the best I can do on short notice on a punt. That's it. All right. That brings us up to the next, let's see, it's number 4 on the list. And I don't think there's going to be too much of a surprise when we come to this one. So let's see where this is killing me. Where did it go? There it is. Here's number 4 on the list. It's Express LRS. Man, Express LRS in general, I would say has been amazing this year. And I would say specifically Express LRS 3.0. And the reason that's important to me is because 3.0 really opened the doors to using Express LRS on a lot more than just quads. Now we can use it on our planes. We can use it on our helicopters. It's got 16 channels, 16 channels at half rate, 8 channels at full rate. I mean, it's a viable protocol for fixed wing now. And based on my own look at the data, it's been spectacular. Like, the link quality is amazing. The transmission power, very stable at 25 milliwatts. You can look at the leaderboard on Express LRS and see how these guys are doing in terms of distance, and it's a great project. So the Express LRS team, They're definitely on my short list for amazing tech, things that I go back to all year long. Express LRS 3.0, definitely on the list for top radio tech of 2022. They still have some room to go, right? It's not perfect yet. Like, we're still looking for S-Bus. We're still looking for native S-Bus output. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that materializes, that we see native S-Bus output on Express LRS. They had, a little bit of a learning curve with 3.1.0, I think, or 3.1.1. One of those two was like, a little sketchy. So, still a little bit of a learning curve, but I think they've just done an amazing job managing the project and developing it and keeping it on its tracks. So I can tell you that for an open source project to become my primary radio tech on all of my nicest stuff, that's saying something, right? Because I trust it. I think it does a great job, and I've looked at the data, and I'm satisfied that it's my planes are in good hands running Express LRS. So Express LRS 3.0, 16 channels. It's a good one. All right, drink. Let's see. I'm going to check comments while everyone takes a drink here, and we'll get moving. We're almost done. Robert says, Happy New Year, all. All the best New Year. Take care. God bless. We're off for a little trip tonight. Great show, John. Well, I'm glad you could stop by, Robert. Thanks for popping in, my friend. Hey, congrats on the view numbers. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate Gray, appreciate that. Yeah, we're all drinking a little. Oh, I'm drinking. I don't know about you guys. I know some of you are, but I am. So, all right, let's see. Runcam should give video out. I use 2cam. I agree. I think it'd be great if Runcam put video out on that Runcam 4. Does that camera have an onboard battery? No. That's another thing, Brian. That was another beef that I had in my first review. They only give you like 2 of the little wires, and one of them only had, look at that. One of them only had 2, the positive and negative. It didn't even give you the outputs, which I was like, come on, man, that's just cheap. Put all 4 on there. It's annoying, right? That kind of stuff is annoying. So no onboard battery. You hardwire. You got to find a power source for it. I'll show you what you can use. We were actually talking about it in Discord, and I have one handy. You can use one of these. What you would do is these are the iFly RC or iFlight. They're iFlight. They're iFlight GoPro converters. Let me give you a better camera angle here. Let's bring the better camera over. Here we go. So the iFly video recorder right there, and you can connect that to your balance lead. You'd have to chop off the 90-degree USB-C and just connect that to the hot and minus of your Runcam Thumb Pro, and you can connect it right to a balance lead. So you could do that, and you could extend this, so you could keep this next to your battery and just run these 2 wires to wherever you're going to keep the Runcam Thumb Pro. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing with mine. Is I'll be using this for a connection to the Runcam Thumb Pro and a balance lead right on the battery. So that's how I plan on powering mine, and it does give you 5 volts out, which is what the Runcam needs. That was another little beef that I had, is that I want to see wide input ranges on everything. There's no reason in this day and age that we can't have wide input ranges. This one says DC 5 volts. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or not, but it's looking for DC 5 volts. Come on, man. That's why one of my gripes about it is it really needs to be like 5 to 20. That's what I want to see, is 5 to 20 volts. That'd be good. Anyway, let's see if there's any other questions about the Runcam, then we're going to wrap this up. Drinking, sweet. Okay, no more questions. Let's see what's next. Okay. This is going to be a shocker, I think, to everybody. But let me see. I'm going to pop this one up here. And this is another one of those radio techs or RC techs that I think this one is number 3 on my list. Number 3. And again, I wasn't really like rank stacking them, but I mean, number 3, I think it deserves that number. So let's take a look. This one is Edge TX. So Edge TX is, all I can say about Edge TX is, to the Edge TX guys, thank you. They had an amazing year. In one of the pilot jams I did, I went through the list of upgrades that they provided throughout the year, and it's a substantial list. So this team is amazing because they're very welcoming. They welcome comments. They welcome feedback. They have a robust issues tracker, and they react. If they see things that they see that need to be corrected, they react. So all I can say to the Edge team is thank you guys. You're amazing. It's been an amazing 2022 with all the work you guys put into Edge, culminating with Edge 2.8. I will be switching to 2.8 soon. I'm still watching. I just haven't made the leap yet. But I think this is an amazing team. It's an amazing project. It's amazing technology. And, you guys know I will never say anything bad about OpenTX. I love OpenTX. Those guys were also amazing. But, EdgeTX really just kind of left them in the dust. They really took the ball and ran. And I'm just grateful that we have those guys. And I just can't say thanks enough. But what else can you say? The EdgeTX team, they're friggin' amazing. They're a great group of guys. And all I can say is cheers. I've met some good people, made some new friends on the EdgeTX team. And here's to you boys on the EdgeTX team. You're doing amazing work. Keep it up. So let's see. We're still running, right? Yeah, we're still running. Let's see. I'm going to check comments. Let's go back to the desktop. I'm going to check comments, and we're getting down to the bottom of it. So what's going on in comments here? Is there somewhere I can read which receivers to use? So many of them, EL or S. Well, I'll tell you what. I kind of covered that a little bit earlier, but my recommendation would be real simple. If you need a straight CRSF oriented one output, you cannot go wrong with a Maytech R24D. If you want a PWM output, let me see if I can dig it out again. I had everything arranged earlier. It was hiding. You can't go wrong with the ER5A. And then if you want to convert, you can take any of the above. Well, you can take the CRSF, right? Take the CRSF and you can convert that to your own PWM using the Maytech CRSF to PWM-C. Or they have a -6 if you want a 6-channel. You can do that too. So I would suggest, to me, I've touched a lot of these receivers. I like these R24Ds. They're really the only ones I buy right now. I will be checking the Radio Master. I haven't done the Radio Master twin antenna yet. I will. I haven't put that on a plane yet. It will. But you can't go wrong with the R24D. I love these little ER5A and Cs for PWM. And of course, you can convert CRSF to PWM if you need to with one of these little boards. So there you go. All right, let's see. Yakman ahead. OpenTX is chapter 1. EdgeTX is chapter 2. I agree, Dave. I agree. Again, a lot of love for OpenTX. And I'll tell you something. I don't like the channels that bash OpenTX. They can suck it. I don't like that. The OpenTX team, they did good work. It was hard work. It was detailed work, and they gave us a good foundation. They gave OpenTX is the foundation on which Edge is built. So the people that bash OpenTX, I got nothing for those people, man. That's not cool. The OpenTX team, they did a lot of amazing work, and they were just the same. They were volunteers. It was open source. They did it with their own time. I don't like that. I don't like that. They did good work, and so I will never bash OpenTX. All I can say is that, it's kind of like going from high school to college, right? They graduated, and now we're on EdgeTX, and they're going. Those guys are developing like crazy, so they're advancing the case. But, if you run OpenTX, and that's another thing I'll tell you guys, don't let anybody on YouTube or otherwise tell you that you have to be on EdgeTX. That's nonsense. If you have OpenTX and you like it and it works for you, stick with it. Your hobby, your money, do your thing. I haven't seen Freddie in a while, so he's got to be passed out, but I know he doesn't like to update. He likes to keep what he's got, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you guys are on OpenTX and you're content, and you like the view and the layout and the features and it does what you need, stick with it. It's okay. Don't let YouTube personalities talk you out of it. I like Edge because of where it's going, right? I think there's a lot of upside and a lot of new things. And, as an RC channel that reviews things, I would get left behind if I didn't embrace new tech, right? So I have to do it. But you don't. It's your hobby, your money. You do it. Your money, your hobby. I got that backwards. Drink. John made a mistake. You got to drink. I don't have a bartender in here. If I get too low, I'm going to have to pause the show and go get another one. Anyway, it's your money, your hobby. So you do what makes you happy. And if OpenTX makes you happy, by all means, stick with it. No question. Have a good new year. I will. Thank you. You as well. Multi-module will talk to it and fly well, but as for telemetry, no. I'm not sure. OpenTX chapter 1. I'm not sure what that references to. Would it crash a plane? TX16 Max work correctly with Spectrum? Oh, I see. I'm kind of following the conversation backwards. Jeremy, I don't know you very well. I think Jeremy. It's Jeremy. Is it Jeremy Lale? Jeremy Lale. I don't do Spectrum, so I can't answer you. Sorry. Yeah, I'll just leave that again. It's New Year's. I'm gonna have fun. I'm not gonna get into Spectrum bashing tonight. So unfortunately, I don't know. Let's see. Your money, your hobby. Drinking. All right, good man, Bill. Terminal Insanity joined. OpenTX was glorious and earned a ton of respect, but Edge enabled my touchscreen and I never looked back. Yeah. And I think that's just the way it's going to be. I think that's the way it's going to be going forward, man. We're going to see a lot of that. So, all right, we are getting close to the end, fellas. That was Edge TX 2.8, and I have the next one. Hold on. This was I got to get something out here. Let's see. This one was kind of special to me this year, and I want to say, you know, the hobby, it's such a great place. The hobby, you meet some really great people, and generally they're interesting and they're fun and they're helpful and supportive. And I've met a good friend, and that's Dave. You guys know Dave. You've met him. So I just want to say thanks to Dave. I want to give a special call out to my boy Dave. Dave was able to, he came in and we talked, you know, he talks a lot about, you know, how to secure his planes and how to fly and how to build things. And he came in this year and we, you know, he needed some help and I needed some help. And he came up with this model for my racks for the airplanes, because, you know, I switched to these big planes. I started flying these big planes. And I needed to change my storage mechanism because the racks that I was using simply were not going to work. So Dave came in and he said, hey, I can help you with that. I've got a rack layout, and we worked together. We came up with a plan, and I just have to give a call out to my boy, Dave. I don't know if Dave's in here or not, probably not, but Dave went through and he made these racks for me, and the outcome was just amazing. And the reason I'm going to call this my number 2 on the year is because this is a custom handmade device by a good friend who obviously put a lot of love and care into the assembly of it. I mean, when he was transitioning these racks to my possession, he's like, you might notice this one has a little edge right here. And I'm like, Dave, it's fine, man. So I just I'm grateful for it. And, you know, the other part too, is that if you're out there flying planes and you have your hangar's growing and you're expanding and you need to add new stuff, I just wanted to make you aware that, you know, there's options out there for how you can build a rack out there that's actually, I'm not going to say it's cheap, right? It wasn't cheap. I'm going to switch views over here. I got another couple. There they are. That showed up, huh? Oh, that's cool. I have to make an adjustment here. So they weren't necessarily like cheap racks to build. You know, he didn't go for cheap. But they are, if you look at that rack, I've got an 85-inch, a 78, a 73, and a 60 all on one side. And those racks aren't going anywhere. They're not even moving. So there's another picture of an empty rack. And I got to say, this tech is probably one of the coolest techs for me this year because it solved a real problem. Man, OBS and YouTube hate me tonight. Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks to my friend Dave for making these racks for me. And if you guys can make them, you know, if they work for you, I hope you enjoy them. All I can say is that they're simple, they're elegant, they're strong. They maneuver around really well. They carry all the weight. They do everything I need them to do. So I literally will be using these every single day of the week. So thanks to my friend Dave. You're a good guy, man. I'm glad I got to know you, and I appreciate you. So thank you. And if you guys, hopefully, if these racks will help you out, I can tell you right now, I mean, look at it. You got some big airplanes on there. They're holding everything I can throw at it, and it's not even thinking about moving. So it's a good rack. I like it. Drummond Stewart says, John, thanks for all you do for us. Happy New Year. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. 63 watching, 43 likes. What? Smash it. Yeah, smash the like button. That'd be awesome. Smash the like button. Or, you know, drink. Drink. Where's the desktop? Is it getting fun yet? I'm going to have one. Hey, cheers, fellas. Happy New Year. All right, so Dave got a number 2 spot on the list. And again, that's because that's custom handmade stuff and it shows. So that was made with some real care and I appreciate it. So drinking. Bill says drink. Bill's the only one in compliance. I don't know if anyone else out there complying. Need new rack, run out of roof space. Yeah, get a rack. Build those racks, man. He did a nice job. It's a nice design. They look fantastic. and they're strong, and I'm going to stain them. That's why they haven't been fully set up yet. I get to stain them. I'm going to take them apart. I'm going to take the rails off. I'm going to stain the wood, and I'll put everything back together, and it'll be done. So I can't wait to do it. It's just, you know, holidays, you know how it is. You got to get through the holidays first, weddings and all this other stuff, but we'll get through that, and I will finish those racks up and get those done. All right. That brings us to our number one. This is the number one product in the year, as far as I'm concerned. And I think before we get to it, gotta like an ice rack. Drinking. Yeah, I'm with you, Bill. Drink. Who doesn't like an ice rack? Where is it? Hold on. Where's the thing? I gotta find it. I gotta organize that. There we go. That's right, man. Who doesn't like an ice rack? You gotta love an ice rack. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go back into the camera, the big camera, and let's see. This has to be gone away. That's got to go. And I'm gonna make some room on the desk for this next one. Let's see. Clean things up a little bit here. And here we go. This is the product of the year for me, and that's the TX16S Mark II. Now, you guys might say, what's up, man? Radio Master sponsors you and they send you stuff. And that's true. That is true. But let me tell you something about this radio. I use this on everything, every airplane I have, every helicopter I have, every quad I have. This is the radio I've chosen. Now, I have the money for other things. I could use Spectrum. I could use Futaba. I could use JR. I can use all that stuff if I wanted to. But that's not the point. The point is that this radio, to me, when you combine it with Edge TX that earned a number 3 spot on the list, and Express LRS, which earned a number 4 spot on the list, combined, this radio is insanely powerful for what you get for the money, right? And I'm always about the value, right? You guys know, for me, it's never about the money, right? It's not about whether or not you spend $1. That's not the problem. The problem is, do you get something? You know, what's the value for that dollar? Are you getting something? Are you getting your value's worth out of that dollar? That's what I'm always after. And that's where the TX16S Mark II excels. I want to be clear. It is the Mark II, right? It's not the Mark I. The Mark I was a good start. And I'm going to explain myself on why I say the Mark II. And that's because when they came out with the Mark II, they made some changes. They heard, they listened. And to me, that's important. They fixed the pots, right? That was a big issue. They did not have a very good center detent, and they were a little sloppy. These pots are solid, man. This feels like a hi-fi system, right? They don't wobble. They have a killer good center detent, and they just work. Same thing with the sliders on the side. Killer detent on the side, and that's important. See, they're listening. That's what's important. They listen to the community. These gimbals, I've said for a long time, I really don't make that much noise about gimbals, but the AGO1s, I mean, they're so good. Their height is right. They're adjustable in every way. They look fantastic. I don't care what anybody says. I think those gimbals look fantastic. Lights on, lights off, it doesn't matter. The AGO1 gimbals look high end, and they're only $129. They're Hall effect sensors. They've got great spring tension. They're very configurable inside. Even the stick ends, they put some effort into design on those stick ends. That's why I haven't changed them. They have those 360 stick ends, but I keep the stock ones because I think they look great. Notice my little rubber band is down there on the bottom. That came loose. Well, Radio Master, come on, man. What's up? Why is my rubber band loose? I'm going to have to fix that. Anyway, is the radio perfect? No, it's not. There's no such thing as perfect in this world. There's no such thing. What I love about the Radio Master is the power that we get. The power that we get with Edge TX, Express LRS, and a radio that is so customizable, you can make it your own. Put your own grips on it, put your own colors on it, put LEDs in, don't put LEDs in, put a module in the back. It's got all the 3-position switches you can possibly use. And sure, it has a couple of downsides. People talk about the plastic. To me, that's never really an issue. I don't really care. I think the plastic is fine. It doesn't bother me, but I know people talk about it. You know, it's a thing for some people, but to me, it's never been an issue. It turns on every single time. I can tell you that now I'm not saying there's not some infant mortality. I know that some people have had some problems with broken switches. I know, but again, it's not a perfect world. The thing that's cool about Radio Master though, is you can buy that switch for $3. You know, you can put it in your radio yourself and you can fix it. You don't have to send it anywhere. So that's why I think this is the #1 product of the year for me. And it's because it's powerful and it's economical and it's got a value proposition like nothing else. For just a few $100s, man. I used to spend, when I first started buying radios, I would spend $400 or $500 for a radio that did half, a third of what this one did. And all you have to do is go out and shop today, and you'll see radios that are twice as much as this one with black and white screens. You know, the TX16S, it's going to evolve. It's going to continue to improve. But why I'm so impressed with what Radio Master is doing is because they're listening. They're taking feedback seriously. They improve the gimbals. They improve the drift situation. They improve the pots, the sliders, the audio. They're doing things that matter, and they're adding customization. You can add some color if you want. You can add some grips if you want. You don't have to, but you can. You can add the top button if you want. You can add the back button if you want. You can add the Express LRS module. You can add a 6,200 milliamp hour battery. It's just they're making this ecosystem that reminds me a little bit of Apple. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I know a lot of people are like, Apple, screw Apple. I know that, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is they're making this ecosystem of things that work well together. You know, and Apple is really good at doing that. I don't care who you are. You can't argue that. They make stuff that works well together. So that's what I love about what I'm seeing with Radio Master. That's why the Mark II is my product of the year. It is an amazing platform. I'm just glad to have it. And I can tell you without a hesitation of a doubt, without even batting an eyelid, looking you straight eye to eye, mano a mano, if Radio Master never even heard my name, this would be the radio I would pick, right? That's just a fact. In fact, the proof is that I actually bought my first TX16S. They didn't send it to me. I asked them to send me one. They said, nah, we're good. And I bought my own, and I started doing videos, and they called me and said, hey, we like your videos. Would you like to join our reviewer program? And I said, well, yes, I would. So that's how that worked out. But that's the proof in the pudding, and I've stuck with it. So I think it's a fantastic platform. You can't go wrong. TX16S. And, you know, they've got other stuff too. The Zorro, the Boxer, those are all great. But man, this is my huckleberry, and I think it will be for a long time. Now, with Radio Master hopefully listening, there are a couple things, at least two, that I like them to do. The first one is I'd really like to see the screen moved up top. I'd like the screen moved up top, more of the controls down where I can reach them. That would be number one. Number two, the audio. I'd like that audio to get loud. I want the audio to be so freaking loud that I have to turn it down, that I have to say, whoa, that's too loud. That's too loud. It's interrupting the other pilots. You know, I want Emily to tell, land now, fool, and have somebody down 3 stations down from me land their plane because Emily told them to land the plane. That's how loud I want it. I want it loud, 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 loud. And I hope they do that. I hope they embrace that one and figure that out. I know there's only so much you can do with circuitry, but that's my comment to Radio Master. Make it loud. And move that screen up. And there's one other thing while we're on the topic of the screen they could do, and that's I just bought a monitor for my outdoor camera that's a 3000 nit monitor. Man, you can see that sucker in broad daylight. I'd love it if that monitor were so bright that you actually had to turn it down on a bright day as well. Battery life be damn. I'll charge the battery. I'll bring an extra battery with me. I don't care. I want to see a bright monitor up there, so when I'm looking at this screen, I can see it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm into. I want to see it bright. All right. Let's see. Oh, wait. Back on the desktop. Drink. Cheers. All right. Let's see what's going on in comments. Then we're going to wrap this one up. Let's see. I just got a brand new Radio Master TX16S Mark II Max. It's amazing. It's the black carbon with red inlay and black leather sides. Got the new V4 Hall gimbals. Yeah, you're talking my language now, man. That's the way. TX16S with Mark IV gimbals or V4 gimbals. They're awesome. Bill says Radio Master TX16S Mark II. Love mine. Solid radio, amazing feel. Not to bash, but my Spectrum is gathering dust. Yeah. They're amazing radios. They really are very good. It's a great time to be alive, right? These choices that we have. No doubt. It was blessed to me by my good brother Phantom. Very nice. Anthony Brown says, can you help me set up a model on this radio? I can't get one correctly. I'll pay you. Get on Discord. You got to get on Discord, Anthony. Join our Discord and somebody will help you out. It's a great Discord community. You guys all need to join Discord. Everyone get on Discord. Parties on Discord. That's where we do our thing. You got to get on Discord. I love the list of the year's best products. Good stuff. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you. You know, I tried to, what's funny about that comment is that I had 215 videos this year, and a lot of them were product reviews. So what I did is I had to filter the list, and I got rid of Edge TX, and I got rid of PilotJams, and I got rid of Maidens. And I just went through and looked through the list. There's a lot of videos on products I went through this year, a lot of product reviews. And I really had a trouble picking them out. You know, I had to filter and filter and filter, and I finally wound up with 20 and I stopped filtering there. But yeah, it's a great product list. And the thing about everything that I've told you guys, with the one exception of the He-Wing T1 Ranger, that's the only one that's the exception. Every single thing on that list I go back to pretty much every day in my RC life. Whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm flying, I go back to those all the time. That's why they're on my product of the year list, because I use them over and over again. Shout out to Phantom FPV. Thank you so much, Blessing. And shout out to you, brother, for all the help and the great product review of this amazing transmitter. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Hey, you guys, I'm surprised that nobody, because I have noticed a difference, nobody commented on the audio. I know that we've had some struggles with the friggin' live stream tonight, I know, but nobody commented on the audio. You guys catching the audio? I did another upgrade. And I hope I'm going to listen to the live stream after the fact. I hope it sounds good. But I bought a microphone and a audio interface. I get rid of my more generic microphone. I made an investment, man. I put some money out there again to make the videos better. So hopefully you guys are hearing it now that, of course, now that I've said it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I do notice that. Hopefully. Anyway, new microphone. Hold on. I'm going to put it in the screen so you can see it. That is a Rode Procaster. It's a Rode Procaster microphone. That's going to be doing all my benchtop, all my Edge TX videos from now on, all my live streams. It's a Rode Procaster. And I've got that right now paired up with the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd Gen. And the objective, you know, this is stuff that I would never freaking buy if it weren't for this channel. I don't care about microphones or any of that crap. I just bought it for the channel. And I hope you guys appreciate it, making the effort to keep boosting the production quality of the channel, for sure. Anthony Brown, set up with Wizard AETR. Okay, that's a good place to start. Jeff H says, late start after celebrating last night. Happy New Year, and special thanks to you, John, for the wealth of great information you have shared with us over the year. Well, I appreciate you, Jeff. And Jeff, I appreciate you too, man. I know you dig into details down there and you get on Discord and share what you learn, and I do appreciate that. So keep that up, man. You are one of the guys that adds value to the Discord. So you keep doing what you're doing. You keep asking the questions, keep challenging, keep sharing what you learn. I appreciate you, man. Definitely, no doubt. Anthony Brown says, at ZBear, I've tried so many videos. Everything on my quad is correct, and I can't get stick input on this radio, but I can with the Tyrannus Q7. Interesting. Got to get on Discord, my friend. Bill, Anthony, get on Discord. Yep. You see, Bill knows. Drinking. Yep. All right. Bill said drinking. I'm drinking. Take a shot. Take a swig. I'm almost out, so we're going to have to end the video. All right. Everybody drink. Anthony Brown, get out on Discord with us. Lots of help. Yep. Hey, Bill. Bill's my boy. Get out on Discord, right, Bill? You know. Please move the momentary switch to the other side of the radio. Oh, yeah, I did that. See? Mine's right there. Isn't yours there? Mine's there. Wozy. I have a video on how to do that, man. I think if it's been done on a TX16S, I've probably done it. But yeah, I have a video. That's a 2-position switch now. That's my throttle lock. See? Let me give you the big camera so you can see it. I like the background music at this point, but see, that's a momentary on the right, or sorry, a toggle on the right, and that is a momentary on the left. Am I changing a live plane? Holy shit, I'm changing a live plane. That's a Laser V3. Stop it. I just hopefully didn't break my trim. That's okay. Laser flies straight. I don't care. It's all good. All right, let's see. Quadtronics, yes, very build Discord link. Every video's got a Discord link, fellas. Everyone, help for view, delete. Okay, Hobie said no. Hobie's doing a good job moderating. I appreciate you, Shane. Thank you. Crystal clear audio. Yeah, thanks. I kind of want to show you guys a picture because you probably wouldn't believe it. I wonder if I can work this out. I wonder if I can work it out. Let me see. I'm gonna try. The camera's gonna get ugly for a minute, but here, you guys want to see a day in the life, right? Can you see that? There it is. There it is. You can see that, right? the black box in the back with the silver, I can point at it. Look, I got it locked. That box right there, that's a Motu M2. I bought that a couple days ago, and I was using it, and I was getting all of this crazy crackling and popping. And it's a highly recommended audio interface. And right before the live stream, this one showed up. So I took time getting that one installed, and I ended up getting it working. And I can tell you so far, it's been fantastic. So between, if anybody's interested in a YouTube life, between the Focusrite 2i2 3rd gen and the Motu M2. Now the Motu M2 is really cool because it's got meters up front. It's got individual channels for 48. You can apply 48 volt power individually. It's really awesome, but man, it's got crackling in the headphones. And I can tell you that everything else being the same, the only thing I changed was the Focusrite from the M2 to the Focusrite. Everything else, cables, the XLR, the headphone, the USB, everything else the same. Not a single pop or crack in the Focusrite. So Focusrite it is. The M2 is going back. And I'm sorry to say that because I really wanted to keep that M2. It looks really cool, but it's got to go back. The Focusrite is staying. That thing's been awesome. So if you need an audio interface and it's driving this Rode Procaster, it seems pretty well, by the way. The Rode Procaster is known to be not a very sensitive microphone. I don't know. I'm not an AV guy. Whatever. It's quiet. So a lot of people have to wind up buying like these cloud lifters. And I didn't need to do that with my Focusrite and the Rodecaster Pro. It just worked. So day in the life of a YouTuber, if you want to know, that thing showed up today, like half an hour. Are we not going to switch back now? It's being a jerk. Okay, there it switched. So right before the live stream, the Focusrite showed up and I plugged it in and it seems to be doing a great job. So anyway, just thought you guys would be interested in that. I think we should drink every PilotJam. You know, Obi, I think that's not drink. He said drink. So drink. All right, let's see here. Guys, after you join Discord, join Patreon, support John. Well, I appreciate that plug, Jeff. Thank you. And I do want to thank my patrons, man. You guys make this stuff possible because the channel is not self-supporting yet. I'm trying to grow it. I'm doing the best I can, but it's not self-supporting yet. I still pay. So the patrons, when you guys join and help out, you help me offset the cost. So I just want to say thank you so much for that because it is a community and I appreciate that you guys are willing to reach into your wallets and contribute a little bit. So patreon.com/RC video reviews, got a tier for $3 a month. Thank you very much. Appreciate all of my patrons. You guys are awesome. Rock stars. And by the way, they get a little inside information that the rest of you don't get. Just throwing that out there. They see stuff before you do. Just throwing it out there. All right. I'll drink to that. Oh, Bill said drink. This is turning into a party now. Did I already drink to that one? I don't know. John just said drink, so hey, what the heck? Drink. All right, let's see. Let's wrap this one up. For all you that went to Help Out John and support the channel, become a Patreon for less than $3 a month. Everything goes into the channel. That's right, Hobie. That's another point that is worth making is that the money goes into the channel. I do not pocket any of this stuff. Yes, I wind up with gear, but I try and give a lot of it away. But that is a true statement. It all goes back into the channel. Every dollar. Really, it does. I'm not putting any of it in my pocket. My job pays for my living. The channel, you know, and the revenue from the channel goes into the channel. All right, Bill says drinking. My man, why do we not see your face, John? Well, it's a weird thing about that, Bill, and that's because I still have little people at home, and I don't want to be recognized out there in public, and oddly enough, it's happened. We've gone out and in public, and people have walked up to people like Freddie, and they're like, hey, you're RC Video Reviews, and Freddie's like, nope, that's him. And, you know, here's the thing that kind of messes with me a little bit. I get emails from time to time, people like, where do you live? What car do you drive? What field do you fly? When will you be at the field? I don't know these people, and that kind of weirds me out a little bit. So I'm just not there yet. I still have little kids at home, so yeah, you know, I'm just not little. My son's bigger than I am at this point, but until he's gone, I'm not going to show up on camera because it's one thing if I want to, you know, goof off on my own, that's fine. But there's, you know, the world's weird, so I figure the fewer people that see me, the better. And the other thing is, it's not about me. It's about the channel, right? I always want to make it about the content, not about my face. I'm not saying people that appear on camera are narcissistic. That's not my point. I'm just simply saying that I try and keep it about the information much more than about me. So those are the two reasons. It'll happen eventually. It'll happen. I know I'll get out there. That might be the viral video the channel needs at some point. John reveals himself today, so maybe. Let's see. For all that you want, okay, got that. YouTube issues are easier to deal with when you have Bevy in hand. Yeah, I agree. Michael says, thanks, John. I appreciate your hard work. I think we deserve RCVR John Hopkey TX16S. Come on, Raider. Hey, Michael, you're my new favorite, man. Where's the heart? I got it. I'm pinning that. Michael's my favorite message of the day. Pin. No, I'm not putting him in timeout. We pinned you. I agree with you, Michael. Tell him Radio Master, you want a John Hopkey dish. You know, I offered to make, what I offered to make Radio Master? I offered to make them a set of scripts, a set of model configurations to deploy on a production radio that they could ship. And, with a couple of the upgrades that I like and that I use, I offered that to them, and they went with Bardwell. And the reason is because Bardwell has 230,000 subscribers, and I only have 20. So he has 10 times more people, 10 times more eyeballs. It's economics. I get it. No hard feelings. I still love Radio Master. It's a party, right? But the way you guys can help is subscribe, share the videos, tell people to come and visit, and that's all good. Jay Largo's in the house. Jay, how you doing, my friend? I'm glad you made it, man. Glad to see you. Thanks for popping in. Always, Jay's a good friend. If you guys don't know Jay and I, we we used to have a lot of fun flying in the desert. I miss it. I miss those times, man. Those are good times. Flying in the desert, going out with the RV. We'd go out there and sit and fly. We'd go for miles, and Jay would be my co-pilot. I'd co-pilot for him. It was great, man. I miss those days, dude. Definitely, no doubt. Better to drink. Oh, Bill said drink. Sorry, fellas. I'm just playing by the rules. All right, I'm empty. I'm gonna need someone to bring me a bottle. Jeremy Hall says, question, good cheap gyro receiver for the TX16S. Gyro receiver. So good and cheap in the same sentence, huh? I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw Free Sky a bone here because this was pre-being douchebags. Use the S6R. There you go. That's the bone. The only other bone I'd give them, I'd wrap it against their heads. And he doesn't have a face for radio, if that's what you're thinking. I do not have a face for... I don't have a face for it. I do have a face for radio. All right. Oh, damn. Mr. Skyraider, are you guys going to make me pause the video and go fill up my... I'm out. All right, fine. I'll tell you what. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the DJI video. No, I'm going to put the... I got one. I don't think you guys watched it. Here we go. You can watch the T1 Ranger video.
I've got return to home.
There you go.
Throttle
You watch
is up
this.
at full.
I'm going to go fill up my cup.
I'm just going to chuck it. Hopefully Copilot will do the rest. Perfect. Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. Today we're flying the Maiden on the He-Wing T1 Ranger. The wind's coming directly perpendicular to the runway, so I'm going to set it down and we're going to just do a cross runway takeoff. Before we get started, I need to let you know this video is sponsored by Banggood, who sent me this He-Wing T1 Ranger for review. If you'd like to pick one up, I've got links in the description. Head over to banggood.com and check it out. So far, so good. It is flying just fine. I think I need a little elevator trim. But yeah, other than that, perfect. That's good. I think I'm going to need a little bit of expo in this just to kind of tune it down. I've got the rate set to 100%. So full throws, maybe even a cross.
All right. I'm filled up.
Beautiful.
Man, that T1 Ranger. I'm going to go fly that again as soon as I can.
Yeah, you can do a little barnstorming with this. Be fun to do a sport fly FPV with this plane. You know, a little park sport fly plane.
He said drink.
Got all the power it needs.
I filled up, man. I can do that now.
All right. That's the Maiden. I'm going to put her down. We'll wrap the Maiden up, and that'll be it for the T1 Ranger. But I can tell you right now, man, I'm impressed. As far as the airframe goes, aerodynamically, it's solid. And the co-pilot, of course, is always good. I think I still need a little more expo there. I was a little twitchy setting up on final. Let's try it from the left.
Here we go. I'm coming in for a landing. FPV is so cool.
Full off power, just cruising.
Look at that.
Hey, whoop, whoop, whoop. Man, neat plane. I like it. Two thumbs up. I definitely, yeah, for a first FPV plane, no problem. I love the wheels. The wheels help with the
I forgot all about the wheels. I don't know where the wheels are, but anyway, yeah, I filled up, so I owe one. Bill said drink, and I missed it. Okay, I got to get caught up on comments here. I'll come out, Mr. Skyrider. Name is Keith. All right, Keith, glad to know you. Anyone else got a blank screen? Hopefully not. Hobie says nope. Oh, Bill said drinking. Damn, Bill is the party guy. Jesus. Cheers. I still haven't eaten dinner yet either. It's back now. Thanks. Copilot is great. What do you think of the Zod? Jeremy says, what do you think of the Zod Copilot? Copilot's good, man. Copilot's a damn fine little flight computer. I love them. I think for like local proximity FPV, I wouldn't go miles out. Like, I wouldn't do miles out with that one, but I would do maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles. No worries. When I say miles, I mean miles, like 10 miles, right? No, don't do that. But for, mile, 1.5 miles, 2 miles out, no problem. I would do that all day on a Copilot. And it's not because of the limitation of the Copilot. It's because you don't get the data that you need. Jay flies some long range stuff. He'll know what I'm talking about. You got to have data. If you're going to fly long range, man, you got to have some information. You got to know what's happening. So I have video, but it's laggy. Sorry, Hobie. I don't know, man. YouTube hates me tonight. I apologize. Copilot's great. Got to love a cold beer. Rum for fun. Rum. You got rum, huh? I got whiskey. I just received. All right, boy, man, YouTube hates me tonight. There must be a lot of activity on YouTube for this. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, let me get caught up on comments and then we'll wrap it up. Sorry about the lag. I don't know what to tell you guys. I just don't know what to tell you. It's just been giving me grief. Music quirks, hang tight. Haven't eaten yet. Yikes, solution drink. Yeah. Oh, drink. Shit. He said drink again. Did I just swear? Sorry. Cheers. All right. Bill, we're gonna have to get together, Bill. Hey, by the way, Dave's coming to Florida, and I know Hobie's out there. I don't know if Tim made it tonight, but I think Dave's coming, and I think we ought to do a little bit of a get together. I think we ought to try and do some flying. When Dave shows up, I know Fred will come. I know Dave will come. I know Tim will come. Hopefully Shane can make it. I'm gonna go ahead and extend the invite. If you're interested, get on Discord and let me know. And when Dave gets here, let's plan on doing a little bit of get together at the field. And I can tell you that at my new field, we got everything. It's big, it's open, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. So if you guys are interested in that, get on Discord and let me know, and we'll try and coordinate. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. Brian says, John, want to wish you a happy new year and thank you for all the hard work you've done this year in teaching and showing us all the new gadgets and gizmos. You're welcome, Brian. I'm glad to help, man. I'm glad to help. Heli Flight says, no worries, we're hanging tight. Well, I appreciate you guys being cool about it. I don't know what the heck is going on with this stream tonight, but man, YouTube has been complaining all night long. I just don't know what's happening. It's probably something between us and them. You missed my Happy New Year's message, John. So once again, Happy New Year's and all the best for 2023 to you and all the RCVR viewers from GB. Annie, thank you, my friend, man. I appreciate that. I'm sorry if I missed you. That's terrible. FL Engineer is in the house. He says, let me know when. We will, man. We'll let you know, Tim. It'll be good. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a good time with that. So I think that's it. We're kind of wrapping it up. I think we're at the bottom. I turn the radio off. I can probably turn the music down just a little bit. And Dave says, I'm in Tupelo tonight on my way. Well, safe travels, man. Be safe out there. And I want to wish all of you a happy new year. I hope you have a spectacular 2024. And in the immortal words of Colonel Sherman Potter, I hope the new year is a damn sight better than the last one. So thanks for being part of the channel. Thanks for joining me and being patient with me on the stream. I don't know what's up with the technology tonight, but it's just been a rough night. But I appreciate you guys being cool and patient about it. And I appreciate sharing a few sips with you. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope you like the content. And if you do, make sure you subscribe. hit that like button. Hitting the like button is always a good thing. And stay tuned, man. There's more to come. Absolutely more to come. I appreciate all of you, and especially the patrons. I appreciate you guys so much for offering to help out. And stay tuned. The channel, there's always more coming on the channel. That's all I can say. Heli Flights is Happy New Year. Many safe flights ahead to you all. I agree. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Appreciate you. Happy New Year, John. Be careful. Don't drink. He said drink twice. He said drink twice. I'm just going to take a big gulp. All right, fellas. Happy New Year's. I hope you have a wonderful 2023. That's all I've got for tonight. Hey, get out there and fly something.